everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hi, nice to meet you. So today we're gonna do a spoiler-free reading vlog. And usually when I do my reading vlogs, I pick 3 books with like a theme, finishing series that I'm in the middle of. I've done reading books from authors I've never read before, and I've previously done reading book talk, famous books that I've never picked up. And that's what we're gonna do today again. We all love book talk, we're all on book talk. I know you do book talk, we're all there. I love it so much. But sometimes I'm like skeptical of book talk famous books, because sometimes I got like some of my favorite books from book talk and sometimes they're like awful. When I tell you I read last week a book that I rated 1 star, and I don't rate books 1 stars like almost ever. I read a book 1 star that was popular on book talk, so I'm scared. This is good because it's like a TBR takedown for me, because I need to get through my physical TBR. I just bought so many books. I did a book haul if you want to go and have a look. I just bought so many great new books. I need to start reading them, you know? Reading books and buying books are 2 completely different hobbies, and I agree, but I need to start reading my books. So we're gonna read 3 popular book talk books that I've never read before, that I've been like skeptical to start. The first one is what is it called? Drumroll please. Dance of Thieves. This is an adored book. Everyone freaking loves this book on book talk. I started reading it last night. I read 25 pages. I am a little bit of confusion. I understand it's my fault because this is actually a spin-off of a series called The Renman Chronicles, I'm pretty sure. I haven't read that. I don't even know what it talks about. I didn't even look up a summary of that. I just started this. So am I a little bit confused right now while I'm reading? Yes. But I've asked people on BookTube here and I've asked people on Book Talk, and they said, just hold on and then you'll get it. It would be better, of course, if you read the original series, but you can read this without reading the original series. You'll just be a little confused the first like 20 pages. And I definitely am. I am a little bit confused, but it's pretty. Technically, this says it's an enemies to lovers fantasy romance book. I'm in the introduction. They haven't even met yet. So that's where I'm at. I'm like an introduction of the world, and I'm a bit like confused because obviously I've never been in this world. I didn't read the original series. And I feel like every fantasy book, the first 20 pages, more I read and better it gets. Like the first 5 pages, I was like, what's going on? I love that it's dual point of view. Love a dual point of view. So I think it is like a slow burn enemies to lovers, which is my favorite kind of book. So I'm very excited. So the first book of today's reading vlog of reading book talk famous books is Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I fear I'm gonna have to switch to my Kindle. The font is so small. I just love reading on my Kindle. They're cute. I like them. I like them. I was reading and I realized I didn't really tell you about this story, so let me introduce it to you. So we have our main character is called Cassie, and she is one of the guards of the queen. She's an orphan and she got taken in by the queen when she was younger, and I think she's quite young. I think she's 17, 18, they're teenagers, I'm pretty sure, which I don't usually love, but you can't really tell because I think these main characters have been through so much that they are more mature than their age. So she's very smart, very quick, very good in like combat and stuff like that. And our male main character has just lost his dad that was the Patray, which I think is like kind of like the king or like the main guy of like a part of the continent. His dad just passed, so now he is the Patray, like the main guy. She was about to arrest him because they are enemies, and they both got ambushed and they got taken prisoners. And now they're shackled together and they're literally like chained together, and they're trying to find a way out back to home. She's not aware that he's leading her back to his home. So I have read a little bit more. I am at page, let me have a look, 79. They've met. It's forced proximity for sure, because these 2 are shackled together. They can't escape. They got taken prisoners and now they escaped, but they're still chained together. So now they're trying to go back. But he's kind of like betraying her, so that's fun. I can see how they're gonna get together soon, which I'm a bit worried about because we're page 79 of 500. They're starting to care about each other. They're starting to see like they're not. He's actually very lovely. He's supposed to be the bad guy, but he's actually very lovely to her. And there's more, I think, that we don't know about Cassie, the female main character, because she's like very triggered by like open space and like the sky, and I don't know why. I think there's gonna be a backstory there. I really enjoy the main characters. I think they're quite nice and they're like layered. There's more to them than what we think. I enjoy the writing. The writing is quite nice. It's easy, fun. I understand now. You know how in the first 30 pages I was like, I don't know what's going on. I know what's going on now. The next 40 almost pages, I know now what's going on. I feel like I got it now. It's absolutely fine. Excited to read more. Also, I don't know if what I'm about to say is a bit controversial, but I think Miss Lauren Roberts has definitely read this book, because her second book, what's it called? Reckless? Reckless is the copy of this. She copied it and pasted it, but I think this is better written than Reckless. But like, she said copy and paste. Like the whole thing about being linked together, like chained together. She's definitely read this book. There's no way she hasn't. And I know there's a bit of controversial about her first book being the copy of Red Queen. So if Powerless is the copy of Red Queen, then Reckless is the copy of Dance of Thieves. Like, there's no doubt there. So I am 128 pages in. I'm on chapter 17. We are together.
Right. So we're happy and in love, right? What's this then? We're happy and in love. What is this?
Not to repeat myself, but we're happy in love. What is this then? That sound will haunt me forever, but still true. Like, what is this? I assume that it's gonna be a enemies to lovers to enemies. This is what I think is gonna happen. But still, what we doing? This is 500 pages long. We're page 120. We're together. I thought this was gonna be a slow burn. I enjoy them. I enjoyed their relationship. But this is a bit too easy. Do you know what I mean? And we're back to being enemies. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. There was no way we were gonna be lovers the whole time. There was no way. We're back to being enemies. Makes sense. Makes sense. I'm excited now. I'm excited now. It's getting good. It's getting good. I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes I lose interest when a couple gets together, when they're enemies to lovers. When they get together, I'm like, well, done now, I'm bored. But we're back to being enemies. Well, we knew this was gonna happen because there was no way we were gonna have 400 pages of them together. Like, that was gonna be way too boring. I'm hungry. I thought I would be a real big, huge chef because I'm an incredible cook and I can cook so well. So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna cook. We're gonna put a pizza in the oven. That's like, I'm Italian though, so can you see? Can you see the Italian heritage? Not heritage, I'm Italian, fully Italian. Born and raised, okay? I just moved here when I was 17. And by here I mean London, just in case you don't know. So far I'm enjoying the book. I'm enjoying it much more now that we're back to being enemies. She has something planned that I don't know, which I'm excited to know what she's planning, what she's plotting in her head. I'm excited to see where it goes. That's one thing that I enjoy about this book. I don't know where it goes. I enjoy that I cannot predict where it's going. I'm gonna wait for my pizza and then back to reading because I'm excited to read this book. Hello! Oh, let me remove these because the light. Okay, so I finished Dance of Thieves last night. I literally went to bed and I was like, we're finishing this book tonight. And I read like a third of it in one sitting. I actually don't remember the last time I updated you, but I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the last, like what I read last night, like the last third, so much more than the first like 300 pages, let's say. It was very YA, but not in the way they acted, because if you told me, oh, they're 24, I would have believed you. But then I would get reminded that she's 17 and I'd be like, so I think it's either 3.75 or 4 stars. It depends on how much I keep thinking about it. I enjoyed the plot. I enjoyed the character so much. Him, loved him. The only thing that I have a critique about is they really got together so quickly. This is not, if you're looking for a slow burn, this is not what you're looking for. Like, this is not a slow burn. They get together 100 pages in, and then yes, they go back to being enemies. They don't though, because they're still in love, obviously. So really, they get together 100 pages in, and then they just pretend that they don't like each other for a little bit, but then they're together, like they're in love the whole time. Sorry, the light gave up on me, so change of light. I think I'm definitely gonna finish the duology. The second book is called Vow of Thieves. It almost was like, oh, everyone like happily ever after, and then like a little thing happened. So now I assume that's where the second book is going from. Also, this is not a romantasy book. I hate to break it to you. If you're looking for a romance, because I thought this was, I think this is the thing, I thought this was a romantasy slow burn book. It's not. This is not slow burn, almost at all, but I still love it because I really enjoy the characters and their relationship. And there's no fantasy. This is just romance. There's no fantasy. Like when I tell you there's no fantasy, nothing. This is just like normal people in normal life, just set in like somewhere without phones and with daggers. Do you know what I mean? So it's really not a romantasy book if you're looking for that. No. It's a romance book set in a fantasy world without magic. Like, there's no fantasy. It says a brilliant fantasy, but I feel like that's false advertisement. I really enjoyed it. It was very cute, but I didn't think it was like life-changing. Then today I started my second book of the video, and it's Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. I have read 57 pages. Guys, I don't mean to be dramatic. I love it. I'm obsessed, and I only read 57 pages. This is obviously a pregnancy trope. Like, the main plot of this is them having a one-night stand, and then she gets pregnant. I'm just before she finds out she's pregnant, because the next chapter is called 6 weeks later. They just had the one night stand. Now, not to be graphic and not to say anything inappropriate, that was the best sex scene I've ever read in my life. I am not being dramatic. Like, sometimes I really don't enjoy spice or smut in books because I think it's so cringy the way it's written. I don't mind a spicy book or like sex scenes in a book when it's well written, because I think you can easily make it, easily. I don't know what she did. I don't know if it's her husband. Good for her if it is. Because this, Hannah wrote an outstanding scene. It was 2 chapters long and I was eating it up. Outstanding. So that one night stand that is going to make the whole book, you know, her pregnant and the whole book happen, that was great. He's perfect. She's funny. They're both so funny. Their banter was spot on from minute 1. That's why they ended up having a one night stand. They have the same sense of humor. They get each other. They like, they are so, they kind of agreed immediately. This is a one night stand. Like, I'm not looking for it. So this is crazy because obviously they ended up having to be like kind of bonded for life, I guess. And I can hear it. I can hear you speaking and say, I don't like the pregnancy. I do. Let me speak my truth. One sec. So I think a pregnancy trope is good when it's the main plot. So if the pregnancy is the main plot, I'll eat it up. I actually will enjoy it. I actually will love it. I'm gonna say it. But when it happens 3/4 into the book at the end, and it was pretty much unnecessary for the plot, it's just for the couple to like not make them break up, hate it. He seems so pure. When I tell you, he gives off such vibes. He seems lovely, and they both have disabilities. Now, she was born with a little hand and he has a prosthetic leg, but I don't know yet what happened to him, if he lost it or if he was born with it, but I think he lost his leg, and recently. I'm excited to read it. I know I will eat it up. You know, when I know, I can tell. The female main character is so funny, which means that Hannah Bonham Young is very funny, because if you write that, you gotta be hilarious. You have to be. I'm devouring this book. I just read like so much. I forgot I was reading. I don't even know what time it is. Like, when I tell you I've been screaming and giggling and kicking my feet. I'm in love with him and I'm in love with her. It's rare that I like both characters equally. I'm obsessed with every single person in this book. She has 2 very good best friends. I'm obsessed with them too. I'm at page 162. I literally just sat down. I should have eaten. I haven't even had dinner. Reading the whole time. So much has happened. I'm absolutely obsessed with this book. I'm obsessed with the writing. I'm obsessed with the characters. I'm obsessed with the plot. I'm obsessed. She's moving in with him. So you want to tell me that there's forced proximity as well? Yes. I love it. I enjoy romance books, but I get bored with them like a little bit in, and I really hope it doesn't happen here. Also, I don't know if I showed you, look at the cover. Stunning. I love it so much. I love this drawing so much. She looks beautiful. Look at her eyes and all the plants, because she loves plants. She's like obsessed with plants. Can never be me. They all die. Every single plant you see in this house, fake as hell, because no way I can keep a plant alive. There's absolutely no way. Definitely not a child. So good for her. She's gonna have to go and do both. Why do I feel like I could finish this today? Like, I started it today. I'm 160 pages in. This was started today. And the night is young. I mean, it's not. But, like, I'm okay with not sleeping. Guys, I don't even know what time it is. I don't even want to know. I'm in love with him. I just wanted to come on here and say, I'm in love with him. The standards are going up and up. And that's why we're single. And tomorrow is Valentine's Day. This is not good for morale. She's incredible too. She's so funny and great and smart. But he's perfect. He's perfect. Don't ask me what time it is. I don't want to talk about it. Now, obviously, I can't tell you what's going on because that would be a spoiler. And this is a spoiler-free reading vlog. I'm having a great time. This is pretty like insta attraction. They literally have a one night stand pretty early on, literally fucking chapter 1. So I should hate it, but somehow it's still very much slow burn. They're still not together. I'm 275 pages in, and the only time these two have ever been together was the one night stand at the beginning of the book. So it's still very much a slow burn. Hannah Bonham Young did so well that it's a slow burn, even though it's a pregnancy trope. In every book, there's always one character that you need to hate. Usually it fuels me with happiness. I love to hate. I'm a hater. I love Kendrick Lamar and Taylor Swift. I hate it to my core. But there's no one to hate. And I still am having a great time without hating. It's a weird feeling. What do you mean? Like, there's no villain. They're so similar. They relate to each other in so many things. Not only the disabilities, the fact that they have only one parent. Like, there's so much going on. It's true, I am. I'm still reading. I am obsessed. I love them. Hello. So I finished reading Out on a Limb. I enjoyed it so much. It was so cute. I'm in bed, by the way. I mean, I think you noticed. Freezing cold, okay? It's London. It's 1 degree outside. I really enjoyed it. I had such a great time. The only thing that I have, like, as a criticism is I would have enjoyed if I had more time with them with the baby, because obviously she was pregnant the whole book and we just got the pregnancy. The last chapter is her before giving birth. And then there's the epilogue 10 years later. Now, I personally hate epilogues. I don't fuck with epilogues. I don't like them most time. In romance books, especially, I don't. And it's 10 years later and they're happy and in love and they have more children. You give me nothing. I just wish I had more of like the birth and the first couple of months after birth, you know, the newborn state, like Reckless. Reckless by Elsie Silver was 5 stars for me because I enjoyed them navigating parenthood, like being parents for the first time. Instead, with Out on a Limb, you didn't get that. You just got the pregnancy. It was very cute. I gave it 4.5 stars. I didn't give it 5 stars just because I was like, a couple of things are missing, but I enjoyed it so much. It was so cute. It was so easy to read, so quick. I read it so quickly and it was so like enjoyable. Now, next book that we're reading, it's kind of scary in my opinion. Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. Now, if you know anything about me, this lady is one of my favorite authors of all time. I love her so much. I have loved every single book that I've read by her. I only got 2 books left by Olivia Blake that I haven't read. One is this and one is January's that just came out last month. And it's like a collection of short stories, that one. This one is a normal book. It's a love story, which most of her books have love in them, but they're never love stories. So this is my first like proper love story by her. That is like just literary fiction love story. I started reading it and it's interesting. It talks about two very complex characters. Once again, very typical about Olivia Blake. Her characters are never simple and easy to understand from what I read so far. Our female main character is an artist who's undergoing court-ordered psychotherapy because she committed a crime a while ago and she suffers from mania and like depression episodes and she's on medication. And he is so interesting. He's a genius, a mathematician, a teacher at a university, extremely smart, extremely unaware and uncaring of what people think and say about him. They meet at the art institute and their conversations are so interesting. They both have such interesting minds. And the beginning of the book was like narrated like a play. So there'll be a narrator and they would say things and it was hilarious but great at the same time. It's divided in 6 parts, which makes perfect sense because our male main character called Aldo and she's called Regan. Aldo is obsessed with hexagon, is that how you say it? These. Obsessed with these. He has a lot of theories about time travel. He needs an unsolvable problem to have to keep going in life. And he's so smart. And once again, like most of Olivia Blake's characters, you need to accept that you are not as smart as them. If you read The Atlas 6, you need to be okay with not understanding everything. And same thing here, you're not as smart as Aldo. If you are, good for you. Once they met, they agreed to 6 conversations. Once again, makes sense. Everything is a 6. Like time is divided in 60 minutes, 60 seconds, you know. I'm enjoying every second of this, so I'm excited to read more. But yeah, so far I'm loving it. So I am halfway through. It's so complex because obviously everything by Olivia Blake is extremely complex and there's so much more to it than just words on paper. It's so interesting to see these two people fall in love because this is pretty much like a love story of just two very layered, very complex people. The quotes in this book are just incredible. Like, I just love her writing. And I love the way she writes simple stuff. Like the fact that Aldo relates everything to time and to bees and to hexagon. And then she just gets it. Like, if I met someone like that, I'd be like, huh, sorry? But she didn't question. They're so different. She's so like all over the place and needs medication and doesn't care and change. She loves change and she loves the unexpected and he loves math. Like, the difference. I think I'm gonna finish it today because it's a very short book, because a lot of this is actually the beginning of One for My Enemy, which is another one of her books. It's big font, it's quick reading. It's just so poetical and the writing is so beautiful, and I really enjoy the characters even though they're not enjoyable characters. Every single time you read a book by Olivia Blake, her characters are kind of annoying, but at the same time you love them because they're so layered and so complex. Like The Atlas 6, you hate all of them, but then you love them all. Same thing. I'm not sure if it's a 5 stars though. I'm not sure, unless like the second half is like crazy. I think it's at least a 4 stars for sure. We'll see if it goes up to a 5. Okay, so I have finished Alone with You in the Ether. I loved it. I thought this was beautiful, incredibly well written. This is not a rom-com. Like, this is a romance novel of like 2 odd people, and the way that it's narrated is so addicting. I love the way it's narrated. I would strongly recommend reading this. It wasn't a 5 star, so I'm still without a 5 star this year. Maybe I should do that video of like, this video ends when I find the 5-star book. Maybe I should do that, so maybe I'll find one. This was a 4.25 in my opinion. Not my favorite Olivia Blake book, but still incredible. So these were the 3 popular book talk books that I read in this TBR takedown. We're getting through my TBR, my physical TBR, slowly. I'm going through a book buying ban after my last book haul that I did recently. I posted a video. Let me know if you read any of these books and your thoughts about them. And thank you so much for watching. I love you so much for sticking around till the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps so much. You don't even know. And if you want to follow me anywhere else but YouTube, I have Instagram, I have a book talk account, I have a normal TikTok account, and my Goodreads. Everything is down there. I love you. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video. Ciao!